In the first selection, what does the word ambling mean? A. Playing. B. Wandering. C. Hiding. D. Eating. Question 2. The Latin root omni means all. That means all. Helps the reader know that an omnivore eats blank. A. Meat. B. Plants. C. Meat and plants. Or D. Fish. Number 3. What is one difference between the two selections? We need to figure out how are they different? How are they not the same? A. The newspaper article explains what happens when bears escape from the zoo, and bears explains what bears eat. B. The newspaper article tells about a small bear that escaped from the zoo, and bears explains what happens to bears when they escape from a zoo. C. The newspaper article tells about what a small bear ate when it was seen at a mall, and bears explains about bears hibernating. D. The newspaper article tells about a small bear seen in a neighborhood, and bears explains what bears eat. Question 4. What is the author's purpose for writing the newspaper article titled Bear Escapes from Zoo? Let's read our stories and let's see if we can find the best answer choices. The first one is from a newspaper, the Allentown Daily News. It's called Bear Escapes from Zoo. Residents of Allentown reported seeing a small brown bear wandering down 6th Avenue. The bear was seen rummaging through trash cans and knocking over flower pots in people's backyards. The Humane Society was able to capture the baby bear, but the bear soon escaped again and ran into the nearby woods. When last seen, the baby bear was ambling off into the woods with a large female bear and another baby bear. Then our second story. Second story is just called Bears. Like people, bears are omnivores. They eat animals such as deer, fish, insects, and other large mammals. But they are also happy to eat berries, grass, and roots. Bears also eat carrion or other dead animals, especially those that have been preserved in the freezing weather of winter. When a bear wakes from its hibernation, it is very hungry. So, a fast meal of an animal that died during the winter is a welcome treat. When scavenging, bears can often be seen going through garbage dumps and campsites, not composts, campsites looking for food. So be careful if you see a bear. It is probably hungry. Let's see if we can't figure out these answers. Question 1. In the first selection, what does the word ambling mean? A. Playing. B. Wandering. C. Hiding. Or D. Eating. Let's take a look at where they use that word. When last seen, the baby bear was ambling off into the woods with a large female bear and another baby bear. So here's where they actually use the word. When last seen, the baby bear was ambling off into the woods with a large female bear and another baby bear. Okay? What's happening? Jadine? Okay. And I like what you did. You took the word ambling in the sentence and you replaced it with your answer choice. That's a really, really good idea to do on these kinds of questions. Replace the word you're trying to figure out with your answer choice. If the sentence still makes sense, then you picked a pretty good answer choice. And if I try that with answer choice B, it'll work. When last seen, the baby bear was wandering off into the woods with a large female bear and another baby bear. If I tried it with one of these other ones, it wouldn't make as much sense. When last seen, the baby bear was hiding off into the woods. If it's hiding, you can't see it anymore. When last seen, the baby bear was eating off into the woods. Well, it's not eating the woods. And if I try playing, when last seen, the baby bear was playing off into the woods with a large female bear and another baby bear. Same thing. It doesn't make as much sense to say that they were playing off into the woods. They're telling us that when it escaped, it wanted to go with these other bears. So wandering makes the most sense. Question 2. The Latin root omni, that means all, helps the reader know that an omnivore eats blank. Okay, again, they underlined a word for us. They're telling us that this word is important. Like people, bears are omnivores. And they told us that omni is a Latin root, and that omni means everything. Afterwards, they talk about what they're eating. What it says, an omnivore eats what? Well, look at the list they gave us. They eat animals such as deer, fish, and insects, and other large mammals. But they are also happy to eat berries, grass, and roots. So they gave us a pretty long list of all the different stuff that a bear will eat. Deer, fish, insects, berries, grass, and roots. Bella, what answer choice do you think is the best one? You think it's A, B, C, or D? Answer choice C, meat and plants. That is absolutely the best answer choice here. At first, it kind of seems like they're going to tell us that all they eat is meat, because they just say deer, fish, insects, and other large mammals. Then, they also give us a list of different plants that they'll eat. They'll eat berries, they'll eat grass, and they'll eat roots. So it's not just meat, it's not just plants. And fish is there just to be a trick answer. They already told us in our list that yes, they eat fish, but they also eat deer, other animals, and bugs too. So it wouldn't just be fish. So our answer should be C, that they'll eat meat and they'll eat plants. Which I guess is kind of good. If you see a bear, then you know that it's not just going to try to eat you or something like that, that it could eat other stuff too. What about number 3? What is one difference between the two selections? A. The newspaper article explains what happens when bears escape from the zoo, and bears explains what bears eat. B. The newspaper article explains about a small bear that escaped from the zoo, and bears explains what happens to bears when they escape from a zoo. C. The newspaper article tells about what a small bear ate when it was seen at a mall, and bears explains about bears hibernating. D. The newspaper article tells about a small bear seen in a neighborhood, and bears explains what bears eat. Who thinks they know what the correct answer is? Is it A, B, C, or D? What is the difference? Noah? D. The newspaper article tells about a small bear seen in a neighborhood, and bears explains what bears eat. Okay, so let's try to find our proof here. In the first story, Noah, where do they tell me that it was a neighborhood? Okay, the residents of Allentown reported seeing a small brown bear wandering down 6th Avenue. Okay, So we know it's wandering around a street. The bear was seen rummaging through trash cans and knocking over flower pots in people's backyards. So there we see it got into somebody's neighborhood. It's walking around in people's backyards. All right. So here we go. It's seen rummaging through trash cans. And it was also knocking over flower pots. All right. And then it says that bears explains what bears eat. So Noah, can you give me an example of something that bears eat that I can find in the second story? Okay. It says that they eat grass. We've already underlined it here. So, yeah, I think answer choice D is pretty good. Newspaper article tells about a small bear seen in a neighborhood, and bears explains what they eat. That's not bad. I think that's probably the best answer they have. What about number 4? What is the author's purpose for writing the newspaper article, Bear Escapes from Zoo? Why did the author choose to write that article? We talked about author's purpose before, and we said that there are 3 main reasons why somebody would write something, anything. We have persuade, we have inform, and we have entertain. What reason do you think the author had to write this story, the first one, Bear Escapes from Zoo? Bella, what do you think? Was it to persuade, was it to inform, or was it to entertain? To inform. Okay. Why do you think it's to inform? What facts or what information are they trying to give us? Well, the second story is telling us about what they eat. But what did they say about the baby bear? What facts or what information did they give us about the baby bear in the first story? Because the story didn't just say there's a baby bear and it's a baby and also a bear. What facts did they give us? What information were they wanting us to know? Because that's the important thing in inform. They want to give us information and facts. They want us to learn about something, but what are we learning about the baby bear? Okay, it got out of the zoo. It was wandering around a neighborhood. It was knocking stuff down. That's pretty important. Who can tell me why do you think the author wants us to know where the baby bear went? Why would that be important to know? Why do you think, Jadine? Why would it be important to know where the baby bear went? Oh, okay. You think it's what? So you think the author just wanted us to feel something? What makes you think it's not real? The walls are tall, but bears can also climb up in trees, right? It is stone, but if bears can climb, and bears are really strong. I don't know if you've seen a bear, but bears are very strong animals. I think it could happen. I mean, there's been other animals that escaped from the zoo before, right? It's not very often, and I agree with you. I think that's why they have the really high walls and things like that. But I don't think this was a made up story. This is something that really could happen. There's been other animals that escape from zoos too. They try their best to make sure they don't get out, but they could still escape. But why do you think, Jadine, if a bear got out of the zoo, why would they want people to know where the bear went? Okay, so they knew where it was. That way they could be careful with it. Because if they see the bear, they could scare the bear, they could get hurt by the bear, or they could be the ones that end up hurting the bear. Yeah. So if they, let's say, saw the bear, they might have, I don't know, attacked it or something like that because they got scared. And then it turns out that was the bear that belongs to the zoo. Or if they didn't expect the bear to be there because it did say it was in people's backyards, they might have walked outside just to, hang out outside, seen the bear, gotten scared, and the bear might have hurt them. So I think it'd be important for people to know where the bear was so they don't get surprised if they see it. So we can say the author wanted to, wanted to inform us about where the bear was. And it's definitely important to know where something like a bear is, because they're, like I said, they're very, very strong animals. They can be very fast, faster than you would expect. And either they might hurt people or people might hurt them. And I don't think they want either one to happen.